another opportunity to come together to explore this practice of mindfulness, of meditation, of how to be in this world with a little bit more ease, a little more wisdom, maybe a little more calm. Sometimes that leads to more frustration because it's like we can see it, but we can't quite change it yet. But this is all part of the exploration. So whatever brought us here, whether it's wisdom search or whether it's looking for peace, here we are doing this exploration together. So as we commonly do, we'll start with just a little meditation to really ground us here after the energy of arriving. So take your meditation posture, which would be feeling the support of whatever it is that is holding your body up, the floor, a chair, a couch, whatever, a bed, wherever you are. Feel the support of that, grounding support, really resting the body into that. So we don't have to work to hold ourselves up, but just then inviting the spine to be long, inviting the spine to be long allows the mind to be more alert. So any amount of that invitation to the spine brings alertness, but also a sense of relaxation. So we're balancing these aspects of groundedness, of uprightness, alertness, and relaxation. And the eyes can be open or closed, whatever works for you. Just don't be looking around, trying to come inward, and we'll let the bell invite us to come inside and just check and see, how is it right now? This mind, this body right here, right now. The arrival process is over. We're letting go of the world, nowhere to go, nothing to do, nothing to be. But be right here. And how do we know we're here? This awareness checking in, noticing how it is. Is the mind still busy? Is this whole process of logging in and arriving, or now in the relative quiet, is it starting to drift off? Or is it just at ease, at peace, just waiting to see what's going to be next? So however it is, we just notice the mood of the mind is this. And from there, we can check in with the body, just the overall energy of the body. Again, is there tension or restlessness, or is there calm, or is there no energy, just collapsing? Just what's the overall sense of the body right now? And there's no right or wrong, it's just like this right now, at this moment. And we can let that go and set an intention for this initial meditation to just be present with this experience of this mind, this body right here, right now. Just trying to keep the attention, the awareness of how the mind and body are. And we can do this by giving the mind something to do that allows it to connect with the body. And so we can do a body scan just to check in and see, maybe in a little more detail, how it is right now. Where's their ease? Where's their tension? Just noticing how it is. So we can start by bringing the awareness to the head. Just an overall sense of the head, however you experience it, right? This is kind of where we all feel like we live, is in the head. And we always feel like we're maybe right behind the eyes, somewhere in the brain, but just sense the head overall. Is there a lightness? Is there a heaviness? What sensations do we notice in the head? Maybe we notice some tension in the forehead or eyes or jaw, cheeks. Is there tension or is there relaxation? Is there any pulsing anywhere? Maybe the eyes are wanting to do something, but we're inviting them to just relax. So the head is like this. Moving down from the head and the back of the head into the neck, down into the shoulders, noticing how it is there, the neck and shoulders. Is there tension or is there relaxation? Numbness, tingling, tension. What do we find in the neck and the shoulders when we bring the awareness there? And we don't need to change anything, we're just noticing how it is. And as we hold the awareness there, maybe we even notice change. Maybe was tension, there's relaxation just by bringing awareness there. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe the awareness invites tension. How is it in the neck and shoulders? Then bring the awareness down the arms, the upper arms, lower arms, down into the hands and the fingers. Noticing sensation there. Is there tension? Any strong sensations, pressures? No sensation? Arms, hands, fingers. What are we aware of there? Is there tension or relaxation? Then we can bring the awareness back up the arms into the shoulders again. Checking in again how that is. And then moving into the upper back and middle back, lower back. Maybe noticing pressure, if there's any muscle tension, or is there relaxation, numbness? How is it in the back? Upper, middle, lower back. And moving down into the hips, noticing the hips and maybe into the thighs, just noticing how it is there, feeling the pressure against a chair if we're in a chair. Are the muscles relaxed, or is there some tension, even slight here? Is there ease or tension in the hips and thighs? And moving down into the knees, the shins, the feet. Whatever you notice there. No sensation, relaxation, tension, tingling, cold, hot. Moving the lower legs and the feet like this. Maybe it's changing as we're watching. And then moving back up from the feet, up into the shins, the thighs, the hips, down into the lower belly, and just noticing whatever we might notice there. Maybe we feel the rise and fall as the breath comes in and out. Noticing if there's tension and a relaxation in the lower belly. And up into the middle chest, maybe. How is it there? Maybe there's no sensation. We can notice that. Then bring the awareness up into the upper chest, the heart area, heart and lungs, shoulders in the front, the throat. How is it there? And moving up the throat, back up into the throat, the head, maybe to the nostrils, and just being with the breath as it's coming in, moving through the body on the in, and then as it releases on the exhale. So bring the awareness to this breath, however you perceive it. Maybe it's a sensation of breathing, or maybe it's just feeling energy coming into the body on the inhalation, and the release on the exhalation, and noticing if there's ease or tension there. The rhythm of the breath. It's like this. And noticing the whole body breathing. This process of the body receiving, letting go. However we're experiencing it. Noticing if there's tension or if there's ease there. I'm not judging it, it's just like this right now. The body breathing is like this. And how is the mind? This observing mind, watching the body breathe. What's the mood of the mind? So in this way we learn to check in with ourselves. How is it right now? This mind, this body is like this. Noticing when there's tension, when there's ease. Not to push away the tension, not to long for the ease, but just being with what's happening now, watching this changing sensations, moment to moment. This is how it is right now. So the bell invites us to bring the awareness back to the surface. Whatever you may have noticed about just the mood of the mind, the energy of the body. And when you're ready, just come back to being aware of being here together. Yeah, so that simple process of doing a body scan just to check in, to, how is it right now? And getting to know ourselves, where we hold tension, how we hold tension, how the moods of the mind and sensations in the body are related, and all in the service of noticing when we're able to relax and be at ease in mind and body, and noticing, when there's tension. Maybe during the body scan, your mind was off doing 30 million things, and you could notice that, right? That I wasn't even present, and oh, that was interesting. And how did that feel? What's the sensation in the body? And so that's really what this basic practice is about, is getting to notice this moment to moment. Which all of us really kind of long for a little more ease or relaxation in our life and a little less tension. That seems to be what most of us want. Some people think they crave tension and thrill and stuff to do, but then we notice it's exhausting. And how can we bring some more peace into our life? And so I thought would be a good thing to explore. How can we bring peace to this mind, this body, as a way to bring more peace in the world, right? So peace in the world, we watch the news and we see all the crazy things going on, politics, wars, people acting out, whatever, and a lot of us are stressed out about that, or even with our own family circles or friends or next door neighbors or whatever, there's constant tension, and how can there be more harmony, more peace? It's a question that a lot of us ask quite often. So how can we bring more peace in this world? And it reminds me of when I was in high school in the choir at the holiday concerts. We would always sing this song, "Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me." And those of you who are of a certain age might remember this, singing the same thing, right? I don't know what they sing now at the holiday concerts, but that's something that a lot of us, really think, well, that would really be nice. But then, it's directing it back to let it begin with me. Where can I start to bring more peace in my world, and then allow that to radiate out. So I thought we could explore that a little bit today, and how do we bring peace versus tension in our world, and in our mindfulness practice and meditation practice, the things that we explore in this practice are the things that relate to this, looking at what brings peace and what causes more tension. So we may have noticed, if we've been doing this practice for a while, ease versus tension is dependent on what we take in, like what we pay attention to. What comes in through the six senses. So, the usual five senses plus thinking, that's the sixth sense. So sometimes a noise will disturb us and, make us tense up or something, or, a sound or a sight, the sight of something might, watching the news certainly does that, hearing things. And then, so it's what we take in, including the thoughts that we generate for ourselves. So that's all part of these six senses. What we're taking in affects whether we're at peace or not. And it's not just what we take in, but how we perceive it, and how we take it in is a component of this, if we really start to pay attention. So two people might hear the same sound, even, the sound of the bell. For some people that might be, oh, that's really pleasant. It reminds me of going into meditation. And for some people, it might remind of a trolley that almost hit them in San Francisco back in 1972, and there would be trauma associated with that. So our perceptions, how we receive it, the added layer of perception or story that we attach to it, determines whether something causes tension or ease, or whether it doesn't affect us one way or another. So if we take in, how we perceive it, and then how we respond to it. Do we hold on to it, make a big story out of it, or do we acknowledge it and let it move? So in meditation, we can observe these different components of our experience and notice what leads to ease and what our mind likes to pay attention to. If we keep going to thinking, that's no wonder we're stressed out all the time, because we keep generating stressful thoughts. But if we generate peaceful thoughts, then it can take us to a place of more calm. So in meditation, we can observe this process happening, and how we relate to whatever it is that we're paying attention to. And then from that meditation practice, then we can take it into our daily lives and know how we're responding to things, whether it's causing us stress. And if it is causing stress, a lot of times we react and want to do something, but if we can be calm and clear, maybe then we'll know whether we need to do anything or not. So that's the basic process. This is a way of observing this process and seeing what leads to more ease in our life and what doesn't. So let's do the exploration in another meditation practice here. So encouraging you to retake your meditation posture, whatever that might look like, sitting, standing, lying down, and coming back inward with that grounding, uprightness, relaxation, closing the eyes if you're comfortable. And the bell will invite us to come back inward. So coming back inward and setting the attention during this to stay with whatever breath or body sensation brought you ease in that first meditation. Keep that as a meditation object. To let your attention rest there if that brings ease. And then just staying with this, but knowing that the mind's going to have other ideas, and just watch what happens as we observe what the mind's paying attention to and how that leads to a perception And then whether we hold on to that or whether we let it go. So starting with our meditation object, letting the mind rest, just practice moment to moment awareness of our meditation object, staying with that and observing what happens. Checking in to notice what the mind's paying attention to. We still with our meditation object, and if we are, always the mood of the mind. Or if the mind's wandered off, what are we paying attention to? What stories come up with it, and are we holding on to it, or are we just letting things move on moment to moment? Sounds, sensations, thoughts. What's the mind paying attention to, and does it lead to ease, or does it lead to some creation of tension? And resetting the intention to just be with the meditation object. See what happens with curiosity and compassion. Noticing what the mind's paying attention to, if we're still with the meditation object, or if it's wandered off. And if the mind's really active, you could even use a word to just try to invite the mind to rest in a word like peace or ease, to give the mind something to do, a little more positive influence. Otherwise, just stay with the breath or body sensation as your meditation object, and notice the effect of what we're paying attention to. If we get caught in it, what's the effect? What leads to ease? What leads to tension? Moment to moment. That's the mind paying attention to how does it affect the mood of the mind, the body. Noticing moment to moment with curiosity, how is it now? You watch what arises in the mind. Noticing any commentary we make on what's happening. If we get caught, noticing what the effect is. How is it now? What leads to peace? What leads to tension? Noticing how it is right now, this mind, this body. Is the mind resting in ease, or is it still restless, going from object to object, maybe a little bit of energy, just noticing how it is. And maybe intentionally noticing if there is some place in the body that feels at ease. Maybe it's the feet grounded on the floor, or just the support of the body on whatever it's resting on. Maybe it's that sense of the rhythmic breathing, gives a sense of ease or relaxation, calming. You notice anywhere in the body where there is a sense of ease, where the mind can rest. And again, if you can't find one, even inviting a word like peace or ease when you're breathing in, breathe out, peace is an invitation. So with this intentional noticing of ease or the invitation of a word, noticing the effect on the mind and the body as you practice in this way for a while. Noticing what the mind is paying attention to, what the mood of the mind is, what the body is, tension or ease. And we don't judge or try to change any of this. We're just noticing cause and effect here. Noticing what leads to ease, what leads to tension. It's a way to get to know ourselves. And how do we invite peace or ease to this mind, this body, in any moment? In this way, we get to know ourselves better. Maybe move through the world with a little more ease. We do this as a gift, not just to ourselves, but to everybody around us too. There'll be peace, and let it begin with me, any amount, moment to moment. So the bell invites us to bring the awareness back to the surface. Maybe noticing whatever you noticed during that meditation. There's a couple different invitations, different moods of the mind during that time. And were there any times of peace, or was there never any ease? Was there always something going on? Or maybe drowsiness, which may feel peaceful, but not clarity. And we don't judge any of it. We're just, this is all an exploration, right? We do this with curiosity and kindness. And as I said at the end, we're doing this this isn't a selfish act. This is an act of kindness to ourselves, but also to the rest of the world, because we can take what we learn here, these kind of practices, and take it out into the world. In daily life, we can notice what we're paying attention to and how that makes us feel. If we're watching the constant news stream and then we find ourselves snapping out at the dog or something, like, oh, I guess maybe that wasn't the most wholesome thing to take in, it makes me crabby. So what are we taking in? What are we paying attention to? Does it lead to ease or not? So what we pay attention to, conversations we have with people, gossiping, all these things can feel energizing, but then if they really pay attention, sometimes they can feel really draining. So how are we spending our time? What are we taking in these six senses? And then also how we're perceiving it. If we can notice when we do receive some sense impression, a sound, a taste, somebody makes a meal, it's not exactly what we had in mind. Can we notice the not liking, and the dis-ease? Somebody goes to all this trouble and it's like, well, I would have done this a little differently. Can we notice the mind that's constantly wanting it to be something else? And say, could I just be grateful? So we can notice how these different mind states feel, how we're perceiving things, and how that makes us feel, and going like, maybe inviting a different way of looking at the world. So, and again, how we hold on to it. If we have a conversation with somebody that's tense, do we carry it the rest of the day and make us crabby the rest of the day? Or do we have a way of being with it and letting it just move on? So all of these kinds of practices, and this isn't a way of coming inward and avoiding whatever's uncomfortable in the world, but it's a way of learning how to calm. Where is that place of calm and clarity in the mind and the body, so that we can be in this place of calm that allows us to think clearly enough, like, is there something that needs to be done? If we've had a difficult conversation, letting that energy drop a little bit, and then, is there something I need to do as a follow-up? Or something out in the bigger world, do I make a phone call, write a letter, send a check, whatever, to take some action in the bigger world. So again, we do all this, not just for ourselves, but for all beings. So I just offer that for reflection. Whatever felt useful, take. Whatever doesn't, let it go for now. Maybe it'll come back later. So thanks again for being here, and look forward to being back in a couple of weeks. So thank you. And if you'd like to stay on and comment, that would be great.